Once again, is there anyone in the audience who has any testimony either in favor or against this application? With no one stepping forward, that being said, do I have a motion from the board to close the hearing for application number 70-25?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Do I have a decision on application 70-25 for a request for a variance?
I'll make a motion to approve application 7025 for the requested relief.
Do I have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The application was approved 4-0 for application 70-25 for a request for a variance.
Thank you,
For your
esteemed
time.
panel. May we be excused?
Thank you. The next application is for application 71-25, which is request for a variance. The applicant is JD Affordable Realty LLC, 1440 Credley Lane, Collegeville, PA, 19426. Property location is 517 Stanbridge Street, Norristown, PA, 19401. Property owner is JD Affordable Realty LLC, 1440 Credley Lane, Collegeville, PA, 19426. As stated on the zoning hearing board application, the applicant is requesting a variance from Article 5, R2 Residence District of Chapter 320, zoning of the Code of the Municipality of Norristown as follows: 320-41, use regulations to permit a duplex in the R2 residential district. Hi, thank you. Can you please provide your name and information?
Absolutely. My name is Attorney Edwin Leone. Can you hear me through the speaker here? I'll hold it up, okay. My name is Attorney Edwin Leone, and I'm representing JD Affordable Realty. To my right, I have the owner, Juan David Perez Lopez. And to my left, I have Jeffrey Owens, who is the architect on this project. Honorable members of the board, it's a pleasure to be in front of you again. I won't go too far into this, but I do have two requests tonight, two different matters, but in front of this board prior, I always make it clear that these cases that I take for the benefit of Norristown as a whole, for providing affordable housing to the area. It's important to me that when I take these cases that the people aren't, and excuse my language, they aren't slumlords. They're actually looking to benefit the community, benefit the people of the community. And I believe that's what we have here tonight. Prior to getting started, the board ahead of time, as per the rules, should have received a copy of my full application, photos, and proposed plans. Did the board receive those documents? Those are it. Thanks so much. With that being said, I'm going to have Mr. Lopez Perez sworn in, as well as the architect, just so we can get that out of the way. I will establish ownership with the owner, and then he will take a seat, and Mr. Owens, who is brilliant on his own, will explain some of the harder questions after I get through some background information. So if the board would like to swear them in.
So just state and spell your full name. J-U-A-N, 1, David, C-A-D-I-D, Perez, P-E-R-E-Z, Lopez, L-O-P-E-Z. Sir, state and spell your full name.
Jeffrey Owen, Jeffrey-Owen.
You both solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Thank you.
All right. So, Mr. Perez Lopez, are you the owner of JD Affordable Realty?
Yes, I am.
And does JD Affordable Realty own 517 Stanbridge Street, Norristown, Pennsylvania?
Yes.
And I'm going to ask you a few quick questions for the benefit of the board, and then I'm going to let you off easy tonight.
Sure.
Did you hire Mr. Owens to review the property and draw plans up for the conversion of the property from a single-family home to a duplex.
Yes, I did.
And you purchased this property 8/21/2025, is that correct?
That is correct.
And when you purchased the property, you knew it was a single-family home, is that correct?
Yes.
And your intention tonight is to request a variance to make the single-family home into a duplex, is that correct?
Correct.
Thank you so much. Members of the board, the owner purchased the property knowing that it was a single-family home. The single-family home is currently listed at 2,278 square feet. It has 4 bedrooms, 2.5 bath. The request that we're making is to convert the single-family home into a duplex with two floors. Floor 1 will be 994 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 2.5 bath. The second floor will be 1,246 square feet, 4 beds, 2.5 bath. Each property will have sufficient parking. There's actually a spot for 6 spots in the back, and there's plenty of room also on the back end of the property for sanitary and trash. I would like to ask Mr. Owen a few questions about the property as well. If I could just turn the board's attention to the plans, the proposed plans, I should say. Mr. Owens, the proposed plans that were provided to the board and that you have here in front of you, did you put those together?
Yes, I did.
And can you give me a brief description of the conversion from the single-family home to the duplex, and just a little background on the layout of each floor?
Sure. The existing house, a single-family house, has its main entrance off of Stanbridge Avenue. It's currently 4-bed, 2.5 bath. Has 2 stories and a partial basement. There is an existing space or existing addition on the back of the building where there's a crawl space in the basement. That's why only part of the basement is a full basement. There are.
And I'm sorry to interrupt. When you say full basement, do you mean finished basement or full basement?
It's a full unfinished basement.
Okay.
Yes. The existing situation is the full unfinished basement does have a half bath or a powder room and an unfinished mechanical storage space. There are 2 bedrooms, living room, kitchen on the first floor, and also 2 bathrooms. And then on the 3rd floor, there is just two bedrooms. We're proposing to build a small addition on the back of the property, which would be 2 stories high. That will add approximately 400 square feet to the overall building, allowing us to, space-wise, convert the single-family house into a duplex.
Thanks, sir. And you heard me mention a moment ago that there would be sufficient parking, sufficient space for trash and sanitary.
Yes.
Can you tell me a little bit about the improvements that are going to go into effect in order to accomplish that?
Right, so currently, there is an existing sidewalk down the left-hand side yard of the property. The property is a through lot property. It goes from Stanbridge back to the rear alley. The rear alley does have some existing parking already.
Mr. Owens, if I may just interrupt you, I apologize. Just for the board, if you would like to look at the photo, it's labeled number 5 on the bottom right of the photo, just for a bit of context.
Right. So that's an image, the front of the building from Stanbridge Avenue. You can see that the main door is to like the right of the building there, off of Stanbridge, and you can see the existing sidewalk leading to the rear yard. If you turn to page 6 of the photos, you'll see the rear view image. It's existing condition. There is a large rectangular through lot, larger backyard, and there is, as you can see, there is a smaller addition already built as a 2-story addition. We're proposing another 2-story addition behind that meets all the required setbacks and impervious coverage requirements.
And for a close-up of that.
Oh, I apologize.
Something about there's already a two-story addition, and then there's going to be an additional, you're proposing an additional two-story addition?
That is correct, yes. If you look on page 6 and 7, there's already, and we don't know exactly when, but at some point there was an addition built to the rear of the house. Part of it is 2 stories, and then there's actually, in the very back, there is a 1-story addition that would be converted to 2 stories as part of the addition.
And Mr. Owens, just for clarity, when you say the two-story addition, you mean from the concrete portion, essentially now with the new portion that has yellow siding on top and concrete on the bottom, is that correct?
That is correct, yes.
This here?
Yes.
And I apologize for being a bit extra here. I just wanted to make sure that we were talking apples to apples here. So the addition is actually, here's the original piece of the property. The addition is the sided portion here with the concrete on the bottom. That's the addition we're talking about there. I apologize.
Nope.
I'm
As you can,
sorry, were you pointing to something that is already there?
Yes.
It's already been added?
Yes, it's already there.
I'm confused.
Okay, I'm happy to clarify, and it's my fault, I promise.
Okay, so you're asking for something, but you said it's already there? No.
no, we're just being able to describe the existing conditions, and then we are proposing a 2-story addition to the rear of the building.
So our intention is to add space to the back of the property.
So you are proposing an addition, the back of the property. There's already one there by the pictures we can see. You're proposing that another 2-story addition behind the existing addition.
Correct.
That's correct.
Okay.
Does that answer your question? That's what I'm trying to answer the question.
No, you did answer.
Thank you so much.
As per the previous photo, if you look at photo 6, you can see that it has a large rear yard. That photo is taken from approximately from the existing parking area that's kind of in the foreground, looking into the rear yard. As you can see, there's plenty of space for with the parking, which we can describe later, and also for enough space for trash and whatnot.
Mr. Owens, you got to keep your voice up.
Oh.
It's hard to hear.
Okay. Sure. So as we were saying, there is plenty of space for trash and also parking, which is, we'll see in a continuing photo.
And Mr. Owens, before we move on, even with the additions added, will there still be yard space?
Yes, correct. Mhm.
Members of the board, we're looking at page 8 now.
Yes, so if you look at the bottom photo, that is a photo from Wrap Alley, which is at the back of the property. There is a single-story white garage that is adjacent to our property. Our property is in the foreground. You can see there's already existing concrete apron and parking accessible off of Wrap Alley.
And Mr. Owens, how many spots would fit in that space? Parking spots, that is.
So clarification, you had said 6 feet 4, but it's actually 4 total.
So it's currently set for 4 spaces.
It's currently set for 2 spaces. We're going to enlarge it so it can fit for 4. Correct.
Thank you. I'm sure the board will have some questions for you, but
The parking that you're talking about, is that, are their cars stacked? Or are they able to be parked beside each other?
Yeah, the 4 proposed spaces, the total, the finished condition would be 2 side by side and 2 stacked.
Thank you.
So a 7-bedroom duplex, is that correct?
that is correct.
Looking at the proposed floor plans, I mean, I see bedrooms, hallways, and kitchens, but like, and you talked about having a yard, where's like the living space?
Right, so on sheet A1, so the first floor, there is a common kitchen space, and then no technical living room in that particular floor level. That would be for the lower apartments. That would also include a finished basement below. And then the upper apartment has a kitchen dining room area as well. No formal living room.
Well, a 4-bedroom unit and a 3-bedroom unit, and they really just have the kitchen to gather in.
That is correct, except for the lower unit, which the finished basement would be being used as a living area. Is that correct?
Well, yes.
As a finished living space, is that correct? Okay.
I'm sorry, I wasn't sure. I didn't know that that was the end of your testimony. Is there more testimony to come? Because,
Yes, just briefly. I'm just
Okay.
about done. I just, and if there is any more questions, Mr. Owens, he's going to be available here as well. The last piece of the testimony is just going to be simply flipping back to what I have listed on the bottom right as number 9, labeled as multifamily properties in the vicinity. I can't hear you. Can you speak up, please? Yeah, so just the last piece of testimony here, listed as page 9, is the actual street where the property is located, and on that road, there is more than half a dozen duplexes that are currently there and being used as such. The owner actually owns 530 on that same street, and he also has it as a duplex property licensed. So it wouldn't actually change the spirit of the block or how it's used.
although 513 is a single-family home, 515 is a single-family home, that particular property is a single-family home. 519 is a single-family home. 521 is a single-family home. So right next to him are all single-family homes. Is the owner going to testify? Because that's who I actually have the questions for.
Or I can get him up. I'm sorry, did you have?
Ask questions then. First and foremost, do you reside in the municipality at all, sir?
Did I what? I'm sorry?
Do you reside in the municipality of Norristown?
Yeah, no, I do not. I live in Collegeville. I used to, but I
Okay.
recently moved.
So, question being, why then would you need to take this property that is a single-family home and divide it versus renting it out as a single-family home, considering that the homes that are next to it in close proximity are single-family homes?
Well, that's a good question. Recently, the rents are going up high. You know, people cannot afford rents like a single home. It's like a house like that, once we renovate it, it's gonna cost about between $2,800 or $3,000 for a single family. But if we divide that in two properties, we can bring in more family that's gonna be affordable to them, which they're gonna be paying like around $1,600 per apartment. So that's gonna be affordable for them. So just like my attorney says, that we're thinking about other people, not just profitable.
So you're thinking about the people versus the fact that you'll get $3,200 versus $2,800 is what you're saying. It's more about the people than the additional money funding
Well,
that you're getting, is what you're
It's gonna
stating?
benefit both. It's gonna benefit the owner and also the families that are gonna live there.
So it would not be, the question is, considering that this work has not been done, to leave the property in the manner that it is, it would not be a hardship, though, for you to rent it out. It will cost you, I don't see any cost figures as to how much it would cost you to convert it to a duplex versus leaving it as it is and renting it out in that fashion. And I also don't see any documentation stating that you attempted to rent it out as a single-family home.
No, not yet.
Is there any reason why you cannot rent it out as a single-family home?
But because it needs renovation. When we purchased the property, it's not in good condition, so we had to do renovations there first, and then we can rent it out.
So do you have any documentation, dollar-wise, as to what it would cost to renovate it to whatever it is that you say needs to be done?
I own a company here in Norristown.
Let me finish my question first. To do whatever work, cosmetic work or whatever work it needs to be done for it to be rented as a single-family home versus the dollar amount it would cost to convert it over, because you're talking about two of everything, into a duplex? Do you have any dollars and cents documentation showing us the dollar difference?
Not at the moment.
May I? Sir, do you run a construction company?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Are you able to give the board a rough estimate, and I assume that you have at least priced out this project?
Yes.
And I'm assuming you did that in conjunction with Mr. Owens,
Based on the blueprints, yeah.
the blueprints. And can you give a brief description, or at least a rough figure as to what you believe that's going to cost to convert?
It's gonna cost me about 80,000, roughly.
And is that to convert it into a duplex?
Yes.
And I want to,
Sorry, what was that figure? Was it 8,000?
80.
80,000, okay.
and that's converted into a duplex, is that correct?
That is correct, yes.
And I want to maybe preempt a question here. Have you tried to price it out if you kept it a single-family home?
About 30,000.
About 30,000, okay.
Is there anything that would prohibit you from renovating it and renting it out as a single-family home?
No, nothing at all. I was just thinking about the rent because right now it's getting hard. I have 2 other properties that are empty because the price. So that's the reason that we want to convert them into duplex so we can rent them out to a lower price.
Ms. Pierce had indicated that her understanding of the character of the neighborhood is that there are other single-family homes right in close proximity to this single-family home. Do you have any knowledge of that? Is there anything about that you can either confirm or deny?
Not at all.
So are you aware of the character of the neighborhood? Have you reached out to any of the neighbors to get a sense of what the neighborhood is like?
I'm sorry, can you just clarify that question? I didn't understand.
No, I just want to understand, does your client have any understanding of the character of this neighborhood in terms of, rentals, single-family homes, duplexes, so forth and so on? Because I think that was something that came up in the testimony.
It did. So he actually owns 530 Stanbridge Street. So he does have another property in that area.
And what is that property?
What is it? It's
The
a duplex.
530
It's a
Stanford
duplex.
Street. That is a duplex.
Yes.
Are you aware of any of the other properties in the surrounding area, what the makeup is of the other properties in the surrounding area?
What, like single homes you mean, or
Yeah,
triplex?
single-family homes versus duplexes, whatever, rental properties, whatever. I'm just want to know, what is your sense of the character of that neighborhood?
I don't really understand the question, I'm sorry. So if you're talking about like price-wise, how much rent and all that?
No,
Just-
the question is, if you forgive me, you're familiar with the neighborhood?
Yes, I am. I own a lot of property there.
You introduced earlier Exhibit 9, which is a map of the neighborhood showing the duplexes in the neighborhood and single-family homes.
Yes,
It appears to be predominantly single-family homes. Is that true in the neighborhood?
well, there are many. There are singles and duplex, triplex. Yeah,
But predominantly single-family homes, according to your map.
yeah.
And I'm sorry again. So you're asking for a variance.
That is correct.
And one of the primary criteria is a hardship. You have to show a hardship. So what is the hardship here?
Well, I guess the concern that my client has is that he won't be able to rent it out at $3,000 by splitting into two. And I understand, the board member's question, and it absolutely makes sense. I get, 16 times 3,200, understood, but that means two families can come in at $1,500 or $1,600 as opposed to one family trying to come in at, $3,000 or $3,200.
But what's the hardship with this property? What is wrong with this building that it can't be used as a single-family dwelling?
It would be just being priced out. It's a matter of being able, him actually putting the money into it and then actually being able to rent it out at that cost.
The hardship has to be something wrong with the property, some reason that you can't use it for what it's built for. Not that he could gain more money by making it a duplex. That's not sufficient.
And our position isn't that he wants to make more money, it's that his fear is that he won't be able to rent it out.
Again, I don't know if that's a hardship that relates to the property. And that's my question. What is the hardship here that he's suffering, or that the property is suffering because of it being a single-family home?
So the fact that it's a single-family home is not the issue in itself. It's the fact
Oh,
that.
it's the whole issue. It's the entire issue.
What
The issue is it's a single-family home, and you need to show hardship to convert it to something other than a single-family home. And that's my question. What is that hardship?
Yeah, and again, the answer I'm coming back to is the fact that it's a vacant single-family home. Nobody has come in to repair or put the property up because they haven't found value in doing so. So the hardship is, I'm not going to stand here and say that my client isn't going to fix it or try to rent it out as a single-family home, try to do it. But the concern we have is he going to be able to do it, number one? And number two, there's a reason that nobody has done it in the past. And my concern is, and my belief is, that that's the reason. They're going to go and they're going to fix it, whether it's $30,000 or $50,000, and try to get somebody in there at $3,000 to not be able to rent it out.
Unfortunately, we can't go with what you think or you seem to believe. And in addition, your client just testified that it would cost $80,000 to turn it into a duplex versus $30,000 to rehab it as a single.
That's correct.
If we do the math, that's $50,000 difference. So it doesn't appear that there's a hardship here, because that's not costing him extra money to rehab it as it is and make an attempt to rent it out as a single-family home.
Yes, and I apologize, I didn't want to interrupt you.
So the hardship would be where? He hasn't experienced a hardship. There is no hardship. He evidently has $50,000 extra dollars to put around somewhere to turn it into something it currently is not.
Yes, so the hardship isn't him being able to,
You're anticipating a hardship. You have not proven there is a hardship. Is that what you're stating? Is that what your testimony is? An anticipation of a hardship?
it's that the hardship would be that people can't afford that in the area.
An anticipation of a hardship?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Any other questions from the board? Municipality?
The subject property is located within the R2 residential district and is classified as a single-family dwelling. The proposed use is to operate as a duplex going forward.
Is there anyone, I'm sorry, do you have a summation or anything additional testimony you would like to provide? Is there anyone in the audience that would like to testify or speak for or against this particular application or 517 Stanbridge Street? Is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak for or against application 71-25, which is a request for a variance? If there's no one, is there anyone in the board make a motion to close application 71-25, which is a request for a variance?
Make a motion to close 7125.
A second?
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, aye. Is there a motion in regards to application 71-25 for a request for a variance?
I'll make a motion to deny the variance for case 71-25.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye. That's 4-0. The application was denied for a request for a variance. Next applicant is application 72-25, which is, oh, that one was continued, I'm sorry. Next is 73. Okay. The next is, you sure? Yeah. Okay, the next is application 73-25, which is a request for a variance and interpretation for property location, applicant is Yvonne Properties LLC, 3842 Vincent Drive, Collegeville, PA, 19426. Property location is 1416 Pine Street, Norristown, PA, 19401. Property owner, Yvonne Properties LLC, 3842 Vincent Drive, Collegeville, PA, 19426. As stated on the zoning hearing board application, the applicant is requesting a variance from Article 5, R2 Residence District of Chapter 320, zoning of the Code of the Municipality of Norristown as follows: 320-41, use regulations, to permit a duplex in the R2 Residential District. Is anyone here for that application?
As we've done in the past, I suggested a board a courtesy continuance to next month, and I'll contact them, see if they're going to appear.
I'll make a motion to continue application 73-25.
Agree. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, that application is being continued. The next application, application 74-25, is a request for a variance. Applicant Edwin Leone Esquire, 200 Bar Harbor Drive, Suite 400, West Conshohocken, PA, 19428. Property location, 721 Violet Street, Norristown, PA, 19401. Property owner, Juan David Perez Lopez, 1440 Credley Lane, Collegeville, PA, 19426. As stated on the zoning hearing board application, the applicant is requesting a variance from Article 5, R2 Residence District of Chapter 320 zoning of the Code of the Municipality of Norristown as follows: 320-41, use regulations to permit a triplex in the R2 Residential District. Please.
Nice to see everyone again. Would you guys like me to have the architect and my client sworn in again? Were they both sworn in? They were both sworn in. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen of the board. Keep your voice up. Absolutely. My client seeks to turn a current mixed-use commercial and residential property into a fully residential property at 721 Violet Street. Now, this property was acquired August 6th of 2020. At that time, Mr. Perez Lopez attempted to rent out the entire building. Specifically, there was an office space on the main level with a residential space on the second level. The basement, which also has a walkout component to it, is also, it's finished and set up as a living area, but not as an apartment. Our request is to make this mixed space into 3 apartment units. Now, specifically, the office space is what is the main concern here. Mr. Perez Lopez has attempted to rent that space out and has been unable to do so. He has owned this property for quite some time. After attempting to rent it out, he ended up just using the office space for himself because he was unable to rent it out. I'm going to have Mr. Perez Lopez stand up and give a bit of testimony about the current use and the previous use over the last 5 years of this property. And then I will have Mr. Owen stand and give a little background as to the proposed change to the property. Sir, can you explain to the board how the property is currently rented out?
Well, right now, this property here is currently rented out to my family. I used to reside there before I moved to my new home. So, but I mean, I still use the office right now. That's what I do all my estimates. And I just recently purchased a new building, so I'm going to move out and want to rent this out. But I won't be able to rent it out as an office. So I want to put some apartments there.
And just to be clear, you purchased the property in 2020, is that correct? Yes. And prior to making it your own office, how many people rented the office space from you, or how many people attempted to rent the office space from you?
It was abandoned. Nobody was able to do anything there.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
It was empty.
He said it was abandoned and it was empty. So you had to do some repairs to the property, is that correct?
That is correct, yes.
And when you did these repairs in 2020, is that correct?
Yes.
And the question that I was asking you is, when you made those repairs in 2020 and it was a office ready to be rented, how many people were you able to get to rent that property?
No one.
And how long would you say you tried to have it rented before you had to move yourself in?
About 2 months.
2 months, okay. And did anybody come see the property?
Not at all.
Did anybody inquire about the property?
No, they didn't like the area.
Why didn't they like the area?
No idea. They just told me I don't like the area, so that's simple.
So you did in fact have people at least talk about it or inquire about it?
Over the phone, yes.
And your position is you were unable to rent it out?
Yes.
Now, sir, if the board was unwilling to, or unable to grant you this variance, what do you think would happen to that office space?
It's probably going to be empty for a while.
You say a while. Do you think a month, 2 months? Do you think you'll be able to rent it at all?
I'm not sure yet, but I don't know, probably a year, maybe more.
And would that create a financial hardship?
Yes.
How long have you had that as your office?
Probably 4 years. 4 or 5 years, more maybe.
Thank you. Mr. Owen?
Yes.
Can you tell me the current makeup of the property and what the proposed change to it would be?
The overall building is 2 stories plus a walkout basement. The commercial space is approximately 1,400 square feet. That's what we're proposing to change to a residential unit, which has direct walk-in access off of Violet Avenue. The existing apartments is in the rear of the first floor and also has a stair up to the second floor. That apartment is 4 bedrooms, 1 bath, approximately 1,400 square feet. The walkout basement that's currently part of the commercial office space, commercial space, is approximately 900 square feet, and we're proposing to renovate that into a 1 bedroom, 1 bath unit.
And before I lose you here, will there be adequate parking and areas for sanitation and trash?
Yes, this property also has a large rear yard. It's currently mainly paved. There is space for 5 parking spaces in the rear yard, and also there is a single car garage or indoor parking, so a total of 6 spots. There's also an existing deck on the rear of the property, and there is space under the deck for as many trash cans as we need for each unit.
How many meters are located at the property?
There's currently 3 meters plus a spare space. It's a common meter, and then 1 commercial meter and 1 residential meter.
As it pertains to the possibility of the triplex to 3 properties, would each property have its own entrance, or would possible tenants have to go through another property to get to theirs?
Each property has its own entrance. There is a common stair in the middle of the building to access 2 out of the 3 units, but each one does have, besides the stair, has its own its own individual entrance.
Thank you. Now, Mr. Owens, just a few quick questions for you. You've worked with many clients in Norristown prior, is that correct?
Yes. Yes,
And you're familiar with the area?
I am. Yes.
How many offices are in that vicinity that you know of?
From being on site many times, it's a mostly residential area.
And in your opinion, as an architect who works in Norristown quite often, do you find that it would be a hardship for the owner to rent it out as an office space in a mostly residential area?
There are other areas in Norristown that are more commercial, where office spaces are still vacant and are, trying to be filled. This particular building, this particular area would probably be one of the last spaces to be backfilled for a tenant.
Thanks so much. Members of the board, I'm just going to quick summarize my position here and then open it up to questions if that's okay? Or would you like to ask questions first?
You can go ahead and summarize, and we can ask the questions. That's fine.
So, members of the board, in this occasion, there is a hardship. The hardship is that he can't get the office space rented out. And one thing I can say is I've been in front of this board prior for a similar situation, actually closer to the courthouse, where office spaces in that area are difficult to rent out. It used to be a lot of attorneys, actually, and everyone's moving out of that area. And a lot of those prior offices are being converted into residential properties. They're being converted into apartments and some actually into townhouses. So our request is, in order for the owner to continue to use that property, we are requesting that we are allowed to make it into a triplex. One thing I would want to bring up in the alternative, I have spoken to the owner of the property, and his position is if a triplex isn't seen fit in that area, that he would also consider a duplex. Thank you.
Okay. And to the owner of the property, if recollection serves me well, you appeared in front of this board maybe 4 or 5 years ago to request mixed use of the building so that your office could be in the front of the building. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay, so you were the driving force to ask for the mixed use so your family could live
Yes.
upstairs. Am I correct?
Exactly.
Okay, and so the building is zoned the way it is because of your request, one. Number two, where is it that you were advertising this building? Because I drive past there often. I don't see any signs anywhere or have seen that says lease, rent, or anything. So where have you been trying to advertise office space or anything since? I mean, have you vacated yet?
Right now, no.
Okay, so you're still in there?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so where is it that you've been trying to advertise? I guess I'm at a loss because you're the one who requested it be changed so you could have your office there. And now you want to relocate your office, and now you want it changed again to something different. So help me understand the hardship.
But I haven't advertised the office right now, but back then I did. So right now, I'm not doing anything yet, so there's no advertisement right now.
I thought the testimony was that he was unable to get it rented. Am I misunderstanding something?
No, you're not. That's correct. So in 2020, when he purchased the property, it was trying to get it rented out. He wasn't able to do so, then he just took it upon himself to take the space. I believe he testified that you tried to rent it out for 2 months.
Yeah.
Can you tell the board how you tried to advertise? Did you put up a sign? Did you put it in newspapers? Did you use a real estate agent?
Did you say 2020?
2020 is when he purchased the property, correct?
Okay.
We never use any agents or any advertisement. We just call people and let them know if they want a building, like people that I know around. Because I didn't have the experience to hire anybody to do the advertisement. So I just decided to live there and use it as an office.
Okay, but you, and I know you weren't his attorney at the time, but he came in front of us to ask for it to be converted to such mixed-use building, for it to be both residential and for it to be his office, which is what he wanted at the time.
Is that correct?
Yes.
My understanding was a bit different than that. My understanding was he made it into an office in order to have it rented out and wasn't able to do so, so then took control of the actual office itself. So yeah, and again, I mean, I think that we're going to run into the same issue we did before, which is we're anticipating running into this issue where, again, because other offices in the area aren't being able to be rented out, that he's going to run into the same issue and be unable to rent it out. So, I mean, our concern, although it's a bit more, it's backed by a bit more information, being that others have, again, and I can say in the last 12 months, I've been in front of this board where we had offices converted into apartment complexes because of the difficulty and the hardship with actually renting them out. And that's the concern here. The concern here is that he's going to be unable to rent that office space out, and it's going to remain vacant.
Anticipation of a hardship is not a hardship, but I'll turn it over to any members of the board if they have any further questions.
Just for clarification, the applicant was before the board November 23rd, 2021, where he testified that the property, that lower level was previously a store, and as you stated, he came before the board seeking to have it converted to his office, which was approved by the board. There was no mention of, his family was residing in the property at the time. There's no mention of the basement being used for residential purposes at the
I
time.
wasn't living there. The property was in bad condition. So we had to rebuild everything.
Your testimony was that your family was going to reside in that
Yes,
apartment,
which we did.
and that you were going to use the office for two businesses, your, I think, siding business and real estate investment.
That's correct.
At least this particular space to avoid the issue of having to convert it.
So I believe my client just testified that as of late, he hasn't tried to re-rent it out, but he has contacted, like I said, myself, and we've discussed and talked it through, and one of the concerns that I actually raised to him was, listen, I've run into issues recently where other clients have been unable to rent out office space,
To try to get someone there, other than word of mouth.
No, not word of mouth. I mean, I've had many clients who have office spaces actually closer to the courthouse, which in this instance would be more desirable for office space, and I've been unsuccessful in doing so. So as we were looking at the property, we're trying to figure out what's the best use of it and how do we
How long
mitigate
were you
that.
doing that for?
Doing what?
You said you were attempting to lease it out for him. Or-
No, that's not. I apologize. That wasn't my testimony. My testimony
So
was.
let me rephrase my question, because you're telling me the same thing. My question is, what has he done recently in his efforts to rent out this space?
Nothing. He hasn't tried to rent
So
it
how
out.
does he know he still doesn't have the ability to rent it out if he has done nothing?
And that was my testimony was that I've had clients who are in more desirable areas.
I understand you have clients, but that is not the concern here. The concern is what attempts or what efforts has he made on his part to rent out his space? That is the question that needs to be answered.
Yeah, like right now, I haven't done anything. Like I said, I wanted to make this in the building because I want to move my
So
family.
if you haven't done anything, how do you know you don't have the ability to rent it out if you haven't even tried?
I don't want to rent it out as an office right now. Back then in 2021, I did, but not right now. I don't want to rent it out as an office if you guys
Okay,
approve
but
this.
from 2021 to now, you have been utilizing the space yourself. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So if you haven't done anything in reference to attempting to rent it out recently, how do you know that you won't be able to rent it out at all? If you haven't tried anything?
Like I said, I don't want to rent it out as an office. I want to see, that's why we're here tonight, to see if you guys allow us to do
I
buildings. I
understand
don't
why
want to
you're
rent it out
here.
as
You're
an
looking
office.
to convert it to a two-family building. I understand that, but you're not understanding my question. That's what we need to address here, all right?
Yes, like I said, you asked me what I have done to rent it out right now. I said I haven't done anything because I don't want to
Okay,
rent
then
it out as an
that is
office.
the answer. So what makes you think that you don't have the ability to rent it out if you haven't tried to?
It's not like I don't have the ability. I just answered that like 3 times already. I don't want to rent it out as an office. I just don't want to rent it out as an
But you
office.
just don't want to do it?
That's right. I don't want an office there.
Thank you.
Residential units in this property rented out?
Yes, to my family.
Okay.
And I want my other family to move there. That's the reason that I want to make this an apartment, not an office.
So the other duplex you have on the other street, Stanbridge, that's rented out to family as well?
No, that was already rented when I purchased the property.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm sorry, are any more questions from the board?
Just for my clarity. Can you just walk through again what the proposed number of bedrooms is for the proposed units?
Sure. Show.
Or not the map, the floor plan's really small, so.
Sorry?
Our copy of the floor plan's pretty small, so just want to make sure I understand
They
correctly.
print that way. He has a huge one here if we want.
That's fine. The existing apartment, which is Unit A, is a 4-bedroom, 1-bath at 1,400 square feet approximately. Unit B is the space that's currently the commercial space that's proposed to change into a residential unit as well. That one is proposed to be 3-bed, 2-bathroom at approximately 1,400 square feet. And then the walkout basement area, which is Unit C, would be approximately a little less than 900 square feet, and that would be 1-bed, 1-bath.
Thank you.
Just one more follow-up question. When you reference A, B, and C, can you just review what levels those are on? Ground floor, first floor, second floor?
Right, so if you're looking at sheet A1, the key plans, the floor plan at the lowest left-hand corner is ground floor, or that's the walkout basement area. And then you have the first floor directly above that, and then the second floor. So Unit C is on the ground floor or the walkout basements. All of Unit B and part of Unit A is on the first floor, and then the remainder of Unit A is on the second floor.
Thank you.
There was some testimony, I'm not sure if it was from the client or from the attorney, I'm not sure. But there was an indication that that you would consider alternative plans of a duplex. Can you give us an idea of what that would look like, the layout of that proposal?
Sure, I'm gonna have Mr. Owens stand back up here for a quick second. Mr. Owens, I understand that these the plans that we have currently are for a triplex. If it were a duplex, how would that change it?
The basement would be just.
Who wants to?
Yeah, so we would look at converting the office space into these second apartments, and then we would keep Unit C or the walkout basement as unfinished.
Okay, just for clarification purposes for me, right now, the building is used as a mixed-use building, correct?
Correct.
There's an office, and then there's a residence that only one family lives in, right?
That's correct.
So it's a one-family property with an office, correct? So I'm even more confused as to how we went from one family to 3 families. Why that was your first thought, and that you thought that was a hardship, but without skipping the duplex option, is there a reason why you went to 3 versus 2?
Yes, the reason that I went to 3 is because we have the space to do it. We can still use the space as a living room, like that's how we're using it right now. So it doesn't
A
have to be
variance
two-bedroom.
is a hardship. Where is the hardship? I'm going to keep asking you about the hardship. What is the difference in amount from you? It seems like it would be cost you more to go to 3 than it would to 2. So where is your hardship, sir?
Well, the hardship is to move my family there. I'm doing this building for my family. And as you said, that it's going to cost me more to add, if I finish the basement. No, the basement is already finished. When I was living there, I was using the basement as a living room. My kids used to play there. So it has drywall, it has everything that needs to be for the living room. So on the office, if you guys allow me to put apartments there, I just have to build a couple walls. It's going to cost me like, what, $10,000 to do it?
For 2 versus 3. I'm confused. I don't, well, you know what? You haven't presented and there was no presentation of any, what do I want to say? You've given us in this testimony no indications of how much it would cost from one thing to be converted from one thing to the other. What you've actually testified is what you prefer to do for your family. And we all would prefer to do things for our family. So that is not, in fact, a hardship. And you haven't demonstrated a dollar amount that's telling us this is a hardship. It would cost me this, or I would be out of the pocket this. What you're telling me is what you would prefer for your family. And we all would prefer something for our family.
I apologize for that. I did not know that I had to present you any dollar amount here. I'm so sorry for that. But I can do the job myself. I just had to purchase some lumber from Home Depot and get these things done. It's not something difficult for me. I have the skills to do it. That's why I never thought about any dollar amount, especially like you said, like we all do things for our family. Like if I'm doing some things for my family, I'm not gonna think about dollar signs. I'll do it. You know, so that's why I never thought about even putting any numbers together. So I'm sorry for that.
I'm not necessarily looking for you to apologize. I mean, when this was filed, and whether it's your attorney's job or whoever's job it is to explain to you what a variance is and what it means for a hardship, it's not necessarily, I'm not necessarily looking for you. You're here being honest, saying, I want to do this for my family. Any more questions?
Thank you. I just want to clarify, since there were previously two or currently two units, the office and the residential, why are there 3 electric meters? Like, what's the third electric meter for?
So most buildings are mixed use, has what they call a house meter or a common meter.
Okay.
That would be used for exterior lighting, fire alarm, things like that.
Okay, thank you.
Go ahead.
Your application, you're requesting that this altogether be converted to a triplex, is that correct?
That was a request in the application, that's correct.
So the triplex is the converting the commercial space to one unit, yes?
That's correct.
And then the rear or the back of the house is another unit,
It would be the lower level,
lower level.
correct, which has a walkout.
Okay. So the reason why I asked that question is it a circumstance that you want us to make a decision on a triplex, or would you be interested in presenting us with something other than a triplex, such as maybe a duplex?
Do you want to, or I apologize, do you want the owner to answer, or do you want me to answer?
You can speak with your client and find out what he wants to do.
I mean, we went for the triplex because I know a triplex will add more value to the building, but we also will, I mean, like, I was talking to him, like, a duplex can be fine because, but like I said, my family is going to live there. Not,
More,
doesn't
what do
really
you mean
matter.
by more value to the building? What does that mean?
When you have a triplex building, it costs more. Value of the building goes up.
So you are interested in the monetary aspect of this?
In the future, yeah. Yeah, from everything we do here is for a family. We get up early in the morning to go to work to provide for our family.
You're saying it's for your family, but you just mentioned a monetary aspect of this
Yes.
process.
Yeah, exactly. I'm being honest here.
All right, so your family is going to occupy all 3 of these proposed units?
That's the purpose, yes. We're still going to occupy the whole building, but it's not going to have a license for triplex. Because like right now,
Let me ask you a question first before you answer. Your intentions are to have your entire family occupy all 3 of your proposed units, is that correct?
not necessarily 3 different families. 2 families, they can use the basement. 1 family can use the basement as well.
Is this the same family or a whole different family, somebody else's family?
Your family.
No, my family, yeah.
I believe that was your question, I just wanted to make sure.
So your entire family is going to occupy?
My cousin lives there right now, and my sister is planning
Let
to
me
move
ask you a
into.
question before you start answering, please.
Sorry.
You are proposing 3 units. All of your family will occupy these proposed 3 units? Or
Yes.
they're going to occupy 1 and then you're going to rent out the other 2?
No, my family will occupy the to use it.
Are you charging your family rent for these units?
Yes.
So you are, in essence, making money off of your family for these additional units, is that correct?
I have to pay the taxes for the building, yes.
Okay, but you just said you would do anything for your family, money doesn't matter. So are you doing it for compensation to pay these expenses, or are you doing it because you want this to be an investment property? And you're using your family as part of this investment process?
Well, my family can live in different places, but if they live in my place, they're gonna pay less rent. And that's what we talked about on the previous building, like to be affordable. Right, yeah, so they're gonna live there, they're gonna pay rent like everybody does.
Mr. Dennis, if I may just expand on that. So, one of the things that he discussed with me when we first started discussing this was, again, it's about being priced out. And it's something that's, happening in Conshohocken, going to happen in Bridgeport. It's going to happen in Norristown. It's already happening. And again, it's about how to keep it affordable. And although we are expanding it, and I think that there is, I understand your concern, which is this about the money or is this about helping or some hardship? And I think that it is a mix of those situations. I think that just by virtue, by owning a building or owning any property, it's going to increase in value over time. And that's something that I think is attractive to any of us. But more importantly, it's if he's able to convert this from a single unit into whether it's 2 or 3 units, that's space that he can actually put his family into, or if he decides to rent out in the future, that he can rent out. And again, that rent goes from essentially renting the building out for $3,000 to making a duplex for $1,500 to making the triplex for, whatever a third of that is. So I think that, his intention is to help his family, but if he can make some money along the way, that doesn't hurt either.
Thank you.
I do want to follow up with the statements that were just made. So when you came in front of us previously and you wanted your family, just one residential unit and your office to be downstairs, that was good enough for you at that time?
Yes.
So you do realize you have now moved completely yourself out of the municipality of Norristown, like that is no longer good enough for you, but now you want to take the building and put it into 3. That almost sounds like, so I don't know what statement I'm trying to make, but I think you understand what I'm saying. You went from this building was good enough for you to have your office in it and your single family in it. Now, you're completely out of Norristown. Norristown is not good enough. You're in Collegeville. But now you want to break the house down into 3 units. That's your testimony today.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Municipality?
The subject property is located within the R2 residential district, currently operating as a mixed use with 1 apartment, 1 office, with the proposal to operate as a triplex going forward.
Go ahead.
I can't recall. Did you answer my question in reference to would you consider a duplex versus a triplex?
Yes, so in consultation with my client actually earlier today, so our intention coming into this, or his intention coming into this, was asking for a triplex. I believe that, another board member had the same concern that I had actually walking into the room, which was, shouldn't we have tried a duplex first? Because kind of making that leap to an extension might seem off-putting or non-desirable. So I want to come in here and, as appropriate, present it as an alternative, because I do see the concern that the board would have in converting this from essentially a single and an office space to a triplex. So if the board is amenable or open to that, we want to present testimony as to our willingness or his willingness to make this into a duplex as opposed to a triplex. And we had Mr. Owen speak to how that would look. So to answer your question, yes, my client would consider it to be a duplex.
Is that something that you want to come back in front of the board with specs and that type of thing, and ask for the hearing to be continued?
That was actually my request to the board. I just wanted to let you guys finish answering or asking questions. I apologize.
If you do request the continuance, you'll waive all requirements under the municipality's planning code?
May I have a quick, so I don't note that.
You can do it on behalf of your client.
Then yes, I do.
So we're going to issue a continuance on application 74-25, which is a request for a variance for the property location of 721 Violet Street, Norristown, to have an amended to a duplex.
So that's the proposal. Is there a motion?
I'll second that.
All in favor? Aye. Aye. 4-0, so we will continue.
May I ask, ma'am, one more request, please? May I request a 2-month continuance?
2 months?
Yeah, and the reason is I actually want to come back with those numbers, and I want to come back with an actual study of, can we actually rent that space out, and if so, for how much, or if we can't, we actually want to be able to put an agent out there for a decent amount of time to come back here and give you that honest testimony.
We'll continue to the February regular meeting.
So much.
Thank you for your time. The next application is,
It is not possible. I don't know if we can do it.
we only have, the other two are the same people. So application 75-25, request for a variance. Applicant is Michael and Naomi Stockhausen, 18 East Fernand Street, Norristown, PA. Property location is 18 East Fernand Street, Norristown, PA. Property owner, Michael and Naomi Stockhausen, 18 East Fernand Street, Norristown, PA. As stated on the zoning hearing board application, the applicant is requesting a variance from Article 25, nonconformities of Chapter 320, zoning of the Code of the Municipality of Norristown as follows: 320-292A, 2A3, restoration or reconstruction, to permit the use of an abandoned duplex in the office residential district. Hello.
Hi,
Can you please state your names?
Michael Stockhausen.
Stockhausen.
Ma'am, are you going to testify? You both solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
Would you like to give the municipal report?
The subject property is located in OR, Office Residential District, and is operating as an abandoned duplex. Records indicate no valid rental license has been obtained since 2021. We do have rental licenses dating back to 2015.
That's the last rental license, 2015?
No, we have rental licenses dating back to that date. Last rental license obtained was 2021.
Okay,
When did you purchase the property?
21, February 21. We just came from New York. We didn't know the law.
Is that on, because the green button, we need to see the green.
Yeah, the green button is on. Yes. We bought the property in February of 21. The first time buyer, we're not knowing the laws of Norristown, so we were notified in March of this year from the municipality that we are living there without a license. So we are here today to request that license so we can continue to live there with my wife and family. There's no rental property or nothing there. Just family living there. We're not knowing the law, so we've been living there without a license, not knowing, so we're here to seek the relief for that license purposes today.
Family or two separate families?
It's one family.
One at a time, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's like a duplicate, like unit 1 and unit 2. But my son lives in unit 1. We're not renting anything. He's dialysis patient, so he live there with me.
So who lives in unit 2?
Me and my husband and my other
2 kids.
2 kids. And my,
Thank you.
You're selling the property.
No, we're not selling.
We bought it.
We've been living there
We
since
bought the property, we lived there from,
we were
So
not.
you've lived there from 2021,
Yes.
but you didn't own it when you were living there?
Yes.
yeah,
You've always owned it?
We bought it
Since
there.
2021?
yeah, we
So
bought it.
they don't need a rental.
They never came about it to transfer it to
Ownership.
Because we didn't understand the laws.
So,
They were sent over to do another transfer, do the transfer of ownership formally. And into the rental licenses.
So it needs to be designated as a duplex without rentals? Is
What was
what
that?
it is?
What was that? Say it again, I didn't hear you, I'm sorry.
So we have to figure out if it has to be designated as a duplex without rentals? Is that rentals?
So the rental license lapsed, so anything, I couldn't approve the transfer of ownership. If the transfer of ownership goes over the 365 days, then we wouldn't be able to sign off on that determination or approve that determination.
but if they're family living upstairs and downstairs, you wouldn't need rental license anyway.
Well, they'll need it for the one.
Yeah, one unit needs it. One unit, the one that they're living in, they would not necessarily need it. But for the other unit, they would still
Son
need it.
lives downstairs, that's family, I thought you didn't have to have it.
You have to be the owner.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought if family lived in there.
Gotta be the person on there.
No, you have to be the owner. For the one unit, they wouldn't need it for the one they reside in. The first floor unit where the son resides, they need a rental. Even if they're not charging the rent.
So we still would have to consider it as a duplex?
It's
Abandoned
configured as a
duplex.
duplex. There's 2 mailboxes, there's multiple electric meters, there's separate entrances for each unit.
Yeah, you can walk through the
Yeah, they were
front
sent-
and
Either
also
side.
at the
There's
side.
something about building that code to do that property transfer.
And you pay two
License
different
renewal.
electric bills and 2 different water bills?
No, the electric bill all in my name.
But it's 2 different ones?
Yeah, for unit one.
All right, Madam Chairwoman, what do you want to do?
Oh, I'm sorry. Any questions from the board first? Is there anyone in the audience? No, 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 no. Who would like to testify in favor or against this application? That being said, do I have a request to close the hearing for application 75-25, request for a variance?
I'll make a motion to close application 7525.
Second?
Second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Do I have a motion for application 75-25?
I'll make a motion to approve the requested relief, granted that I'm assuming they're gonna have to pay the back rental licenses from 2021 to current. Just for one unit, or do you need a license? For the one unit.
Is that motion seconded?
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. That the application is approved for application 75-25, 420. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The next application is,
Yes, ma'am.
thank you, you too. The next application is for 76-25, request for a variance and special exception. Applicant, the Herbert Weintraub Foundation, 740 Germantown Pike, Lafayette Hill, PA, 19444. Property location, 710 Violet Street, Norristown, PA, 19401. Property owner, the Herbert Weintraub Foundation, 740 Germantown Pike, Lafayette Hill, PA, 19444. As stated on the zoning hearing board application, the applicant is requesting a variance from Article 5, R2 Residence District of Chapter 320 zoning of the Code of the Municipality of Norristown as follows. 320-42B1 dimensional criteria to permit semi-detached residence in the R2 residential district. 320-262A1 residential parking and garages to permit front-face parking in the R2 residential district. 320-262A4 residential parking and garages to permit front-facing parking in the R2 residential district. Hello.
Hi, how you doing?
Good.
My name's Nick Rossini. I'm co-president and here representing the Herbert Weintraub Foundation. I'm accompanied by my co-president, Joshua Levin.
State spell your full name for me.
Nicholas, Nicholas, Rossini, Rossini.
Joshua Levin, Joshua Levin.
Both solemnly swear or affirm testimony about to give
I do.
If you can wait 1 second, I would like to confer with the solicitor with regards to whether or not you need representation or how we shall proceed. Okay, so our solicitor said he did speak to you prior to this, so we're going to continue it until January, and at which time you need to be represented by an attorney.
As I had indicated earlier, all limited liability companies or other corporate associations have to be represented by an attorney. So what we can.
The email that we were sent for the invitation said, or by a founding, I have it right here, said, or by a member.
Okay. I had a conversation today with Mr. Levin, and I informed him of this. And also, you signed the rules and procedures of the board, which clearly states that you have to have an attorney represent a limited liability company. So all I can offer you is we can continue it, give you an opportunity to have an attorney present. Continue in January or beyond, it's up to you. Right now, we'll continue it to January. Okay, so
January works.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
So the board vote on both 76 and 77, 25 to continue it?
Sure.
Give the applicants an opportunity to retain an attorney?
Okay. I'd like to request for so for application 76-25, request for a variance and special exception for property location of 710 Violet Street, Norristown, PA, and application number 77-25, request for a variance and special exception, property location 712 Violet Street, Norristown, PA 19401. The board vote for a continuance to the January 2026 hearing to hear the matter and have the parties represented by an attorney. All in favor? So
The next regular scheduled meeting is January 27th, 2026.
thank you very much for your time. Sorry. Is there a motion to end the December 2025 Norristown Zoning Board hearing?
Vote to close.
We don't have to do anything else, do we?
No, that's it, just vote to close the meeting.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Yeah, to make to close. Move. All in favor? Okay, I know nobody's opposed. Thank you. Have a wonderful holiday. Wonderful